This week we start playing with people's lives in The Sims 4. Jonny Robot takes us out to the ball game with MLB 14 The Show, and Jimmy the Geek chats to Telltale Games about their project with Gearbox, Tales from the Borderlands. This is Player Attack. Hi, I'm Jessica Citizen, and this week was full of comeback stories. First up, David Gibson, a moving image technician at the US Library of Congress, uncovered the source disk for an unreleased PSP game, Duke Nukem Critical Mass. Initially, Gibson thought it was just a DVD recording of some gameplay, but a quick look around revealed that it is, in fact, the code for the game in its entirety. 3D models, textures, sound files, and all, a perfect archived copy of a game that never saw the light of day. In similar blast from the past news, Activision has revealed that old-school adventure game label Sierra is preparing for its grand return 6 years after it was shut down. Back in the 80s, Sierra Online was well known for its point-and-click quest adventure games, King's Quest, Space Quest and Police Quest, as well as for the adult humour of Leisure Suit Larry. While the following decades weren't quite so kind, it was still sad to see the studio disappear in 2008. Now, the Sierra website has been updated with a snazzy new logo, with more details revealed at Gamescom in Germany. Now, it's time for some bad news, but it's actually good news if you squint at it. Evolve, the upcoming asymmetrical team-based co-op shooter, has been delayed to February 2015. So yes, it's bad because you'll have to wait longer, but it's also good because it means the team at Turtle Rock has more time to get the game actually finished, as well as shifting it out of the already packed October calendar window. There's some more good news, bad news from Codemasters. The publisher recently put a version of Colin McRae Rally on Steam, making racing fans very excited. It didn't take long though for gamers to realise this was not an HD remake of the 1998 original. Instead, it's a port of the 2013 mobile release, which was stripped back to fit on handhelds and then simply made bigger again for PC. The studio has now made the differences quite clear on the game's Steam page, and if you bought a copy of Colin McRae Rally and you feel cheated about the game you actually got, you are eligible for a refund if you contact Steam before August 19. And rounding out this trio of disappointments, Bungie has confirmed something we already knew. All of the characters you created during the recent Destiny beta test have been wiped. Of course, this is par for the course. This sort of change that Bungie has implemented since the beta test mean that your beloved Guardian would be broken if he was brought straight into the new version. But some gamers are still disappointed to learn that all characters, stats and vaults have been cleared out in advance of the game's launch on September 9. Something that might cheer you up a little bit though, Paul McCartney has been working on the Destiny soundtrack on and off for the past 4 years, working closely with former Bungie house composer Marty O'Donnell. And McCartney has now announced that the game's emotive theme tune is being considered for a single release. The orchestral piece was recorded with a 120-piece ensemble at the famous Abbey Road Studios, with the orchestra directed by none other than Giles Martin, son of longtime Beatles producer George, and himself an important member of the team that previously brought the Fab Four to consoles with the Beatles rock band. But now it's right back into the stuff that has made gamers less than thrilled this week. 2K Games teased something a little while ago with a delicious-looking art deco design seemingly ripped from the original Bioshock. Turns out the artwork, inviting you to come bite the apple, was quite literal. You will be able to return to Rapture real soon now with a rebuilt version of the original Bioshock setting its sights on a release for iPhone and iPad. Meanwhile, Crytek has announced that it is bringing Xbox One launch title Rise, Son of Rome to PC, complete with support for 4K resolution. It's an interesting move from a studio reportedly facing serious financial issues. We've got more about The Sims 4 a little later in the episode, but it is worth quickly mentioning that EA has confirmed that yes, the game will support modding, and it's set to be even easier than it was in earlier generations of the game. Assassin's Creed Rogue has officially been announced following another pesky retailer leak. Headed to PS3, Xbox 360 and PC in November, this one gives you the chance to play as a Templar, Shay Patrick Cormac, who has been betrayed by the Brotherhood and transformed into an assassin hunter.
I reach the end of the trail. The air is still, and I am a hunter. The hunt has led me to the forgotten edges of this world. Seasons pass, drawing me deeper into the darkness, where I have found the truth. that my redemption is found in ashes. That I must burn away the past to set things right.
This news confirms that we are getting at least 2 new Assassin's Creed games this year, with Assassin's Creed Unity also hitting PC, PS4 and Xbox One on October 28. And finally this week, some brand new DLC for Mario Kart 8 on the way, and this is something we never saw coming. Nintendo has teamed up with car manufacturer Mercedes-Benz to release new cars into the kart racer. There's the modern Mercedes-Benz GLA, the 1950s 300 SL Roadster, and the beautiful 1930s Silver Arrow. Each car has been modified slightly to seat Mario's oversized posterior, but otherwise they're quite lovely little renditions. The new cars, which come free alongside a game update, have been scheduled to launch on August 27, the 22nd anniversary of the Japanese launch of the original Mario Kart game, Super Mario Kart, back in 1992. For more information on any of these stories, or to keep up to date with the latest gaming news, head to playerattack.com. But for now, stick around, we've got plenty more still to come. Hi, I'm Jessica Citizen from Player Attack. We're here at E3 2014. I'm in the EA booth with Argus from EA. We are talking about The Sims 4, which is just so exciting and I can't wait to play it. Oh my god!
Yes. Absolutely. The Sims 4 is great. It's wonderful. We've had a great time making it and we can't wait for players to get their hands on it.
I like that this year you guys have really embraced the fact that people do make really weird stories with their Sims.
Yeah. We definitely have the opportunity in The Sims 4 to make more meaningful, rich, deep, and sometimes even weird stories.
He never drinks more than 2 cups of coffee a day. One New Year's Eve, he stayed up until midnight. When the going gets tough, he watches daytime television. If at first he doesn't succeed, he doesn't try again. He is the least interesting Sim in the world. He doesn't always eat breakfast, but when he does, he makes pancakes.
We have all new, amazing new Sims. They're more believable, they have big personalities, and they have a ton of new emotion. It's really wonderful.
How have you guys managed to put emotion into what, 2 generations ago were just little pixelated people running around?
Yeah, so in The Sims 4, we've really injected the heart into The Sims. So we have more personality, the traits matter more than ever before, and Sims actually have those different emotions. So you can range from like angry or sad or happy or elated or playful, so it's a lot of fun.
At the press conference on Monday, we were seeing that there was someone who had a fight with someone and then managed to use that anger to then go to the gym and work out harder.
Yeah, exactly. So you can actually harness your emotions, and in The Sims 4, players have control over the emotions. So here we leveraged anger, and instead of blowing up and getting into another fight with someone, we actually had them work it off. So it's great.
Are there new traits involved this year?
Yeah, absolutely. We have new traits, and they have so much more power. They really show the Sims' personality, and they affect their behavior. Not only the Sims' behavior, but it affects the way players will play the game.
There's the story of Ollie Perdue, a starving artist without his muse. Depressed, Ollie spent his days alone, and his nights seeking inspiration. He didn't laugh, and he didn't dance.
But that's not the only thing that's new and exciting in The Sims 4. You guys have taken the customization to all new levels.
Absolutely. We have all new creative tools that have been rebuilt from the ground up to be easier to use and so much more tactile and intuitive.
So, I mean, last time, you might have a slider that might change some things. This time it's...
No more sliders. You don't have to mess around with sliders anymore, and I am so happy. You can just directly manipulate the Sim's body, and you can just push and pull it, sculpt them like clay. It's really easy, really powerful too.
And you don't necessarily have to stick to particularly realistic human shapes, do you?
No, you can create whatever you want to. So whatever your imagination has in The Sims 4.
And what about their houses? What do the Sims houses look like this time around?
Sims houses are also amazing. So we have our all new build tools as well. And so they're easier to use. You can actually pick up an entire room with all of its contents, all of the decor, all the furnishings. It goes with it. You can raise the roof with just dragging the button. Foundation height adjusts too. It's wonderful.
You know that everyone spent 3/4 of their time sitting in, build mode and create a sim, making every little fine-tuning thing. Now you're just throwing people right into the action.
Yeah, you can jump into the game, and honestly, if you're not a builder or you don't really want to make sims, you can go onto the gallery and see what other players have uploaded to the gallery and just share that content that way. You can jump in, grab a new house, grab a new room, plop it in your game, and you're good to go.
Babs Lamore, a bartender, had dreams of her own. A romantic, she was forever on a quest for true love. Until she met the one. Ollie fell for her way with words. And his technique left Babs inspired. The budding novelist began writing her own story. The story of Babs Lamore and Ollie Perdue.
What about the town that the Sims are in this time? What can they do running around outside of their houses?
Our towns are beautiful. Our neighborhoods are so vibrant and lush and full of Sims. They do walk-bys. You can actually see them, talk to them on the street, and it's so much fun to see, actually go out into the world and see what other Sims are doing too. Little voyeuristic, but go check on them and see how they're socializing or interacting with the world. So it's fun.
And you're describing being voyeuristic and playing The Sims like it's a bad or an unusual thing.
Not really, some players have their voyeuristic ones, and then others are builders or maybe even achievers.
This is Ned. Ned is a skilled gardener. This is Ned's rare cow plant. Say moo, you sweet cow plant. Moo. Neddy very want a piece of cake? Oh, sorry, Ned.
Baseball. It is one hell of a sport. I cannot think of another sport so complex whilst being so inherently simple. A game that can be played in an abandoned lot with your buddies during those summer breaks, or by men, momentarily transformed into Argonauts in front of 50,000 people at a packed out Yankee Stadium. But seeing as running is a close second to death on my list of things not to do, and a grown man hanging out with kids nowadays is kinda frowned upon, thank God Sony San Diego allows me to play the great American pastime from the comfort of my own couch.
Adam Jones manufactured an American League response in the bottom half. Jones singled, stole second, and hustled home on a base hit by Josh Donaldson.
Straight off the bat, I'm not gonna lie, MLB 14 does have noticeably fewer new game modes and features than entries from previous years. All the fan favorites are back though, including a robust franchise mode, classic matchups, and Road to the Show, where you take your rookie through the minors all the way to the big leagues. However, that being said, this is anything but a simple roster update. On a gameplay front, MLB 14 is truly deserving of calling itself a baseball simulator, having tweaked the batting and pitching mechanics to perfection. This game is hard, like actually playing baseball hard. You have to battle to earn every base hit, every strikeout, every double play. Hell, just knowing when to swing is a task all in itself. The thing is, this demanding gameplay culminates in creating a euphoric feeling when you succeed, and then aptly makes you bury your head in your hands when you fail. MLB 14 perfectly captures the mind games and split-second decisions that make or break your night on the plate, which can be a little bit jarring at first. Thankfully, the developers have incorporated around a bazillion difficulty sliders, so you can tweak the gameplay to a level where you feel comfortable, yet still challenged, or break reality altogether and become the second coming of Babe Ruth. The other worthwhile inclusion in this year's outing is the new mechanic, quick counts. Anyone that's ever watched baseball knows it goes for a really long time, like more than a six-pack long time, and that is a hell of an investment if you want to play a whole season. With quick counts on, the game simulates balls, fouls, and other uneventful plays and lets you jump right back into the action, ready to make that clutch double play or outfield catch, effectively cutting the game down to an intense 5-minute outing instead of a 3-hour-long slog. All these little tweaks are great additions, but where MLB 14 truly knocks it out of the park is in its presentation. The game is gorgeous, to the point where you could easily confuse it with an actual telecast. Sony San Diego went the extra mile replicating each Major League star's appearance to doppelganger-like levels, and painstakingly recreating the stadiums to be indistinguishable from their real-life counterparts.
Hard hit towards center. McCutcheon, patrolling center, makes the play, 1 out.
I hear you saying, so what? Great! That's what we've come to expect from these franchises going forward, to look more and more like the games we love. But MLB 14 also captures the soul of baseball in a myriad of subtle little ways. The little things like the crack of the bat, the sound of a fastball cutting through the air, the muffled slap of a pitch being engulfed in a mitt. These sounds resonate with a deeper part of you. You feel like you are there. And then there's the chatter of the crowd, who at any moment are ready to explode into a frenzy. The psych-outs of opposing players, contrasted by the psych-ups of your coach and teammates. People stand up to get hot dogs. Kids reach over the barriers to reach fly balls. Players pass around gum in the dugout. The game feels more and more alive with every second it's on screen, and that's something I have never seen before. MLB 14 is by far the best sports game I've played in years. The mechanics are tight, the visuals are stellar, and the heart of baseball is put front and center. Although it may have a steep learning curve for newcomers and ask a lot of you to master, I urge anyone who grew up throwing the ball around, or ever even contemplated destroying a cornfield to erect a diamond, to step up to the plate and swing away.
Welcome to Marcus Munich. I know what you're trying to do, but you are not Vault Hunters. You are only going to get yourselves killed. Or worse. Trust me, you want no part of this insanity.
Jimmy the Geek here with Richard Igo from Telltale Games. Richard, tell us about the new Borderlands project that's coming out.
Well, it's our next episodic series. It's coming later this summer. It's set after the events of Borderlands 2. So it's after the fall of Handsome Jack, spoiler alert. And basically, it's the whole idea is kind of like two sides to every story, which is something new for Telltale. Like every game that we've done previously has really been focused on one particular character. So whether it's Lee from The Walking Dead, or Clementine, or Bigby from Wolf Among Us. In this game, we've got two different characters that you play as. We have Reese, who's this like Hyperion guy who wants to be the next Handsome Jack, and we have Fiona, who's this con artist who's looking to make her next big con before she has to get actually off Pandora, because everybody knows who she is. She's got nothing left. She's got to make this one last con and get the hell out of there.
So two characters, was that difficult to balance from a gameplay point of view? How did you make that work?
It's not so much a balance thing. It's just it's an interesting concept and dynamic for the player, because what you're able to do is you basically, so in this demo that we've done today, for example, we play through as Reese, and he kind of is recalling events as he remembers them, right? So it's got the kind of Reese flavor to it. And then Fiona shows up after that and says, wait, that's not what happened. And then you as a player get to say what actually did happen. But you get to do that in both characters' points of view. So you as the player are really creating this story and deciding exactly what happened in the past. And you're telling this brand new story.
Which creates a lot of replay value and that sort of thing, right?
Yeah, and again, you know, with like every other Telltale game, choice matters. So every single choice that you make is going to have a ripple. It might be something that happens right there and then in front of you. It might be something that happens a couple of episodes down the line. But you've got to think about every single thing that you do. And then on top of that, you know, what is a Borderlands game without a loot system? So we've got tons of loot in this game, and when you take loot, what you take, all that kind of stuff, that is going to affect your game as well. And we're also going to have a really cool announcement soon exactly how loot's going to work in our game. It's if you're a Borderlands fan, it's very exciting.
I am a Borderlands fan, and I'm really curious, how did this project come about? How did you get Gearbox to agree to this?
Well, the simple story is we're just big fans of each other's work. I mean, we love everything that they've done. They love our stuff, and also, you know, just truthfully, we're personal friends as well. So, you know, conversation started with, you know, hey, we should do something together, and it just flowed into Claptrap appearing in Poker Night 2, and then has become this brand new extension of the Borderlands universe.
When is the game coming out?
Later this summer.
For what systems?
PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, PC, Mac, iOS, Android, and anything else that I'm missing? Vita. Somebody said Vita.
Listen, kiddos, trust Handsome Jack. You want every part of this insanity. Oh, God. So many people are gonna die.
And that's about it for this edition of Player Attack. Thanks for watching. Next week we chat to Wargaming about upcoming massively multiplayer online strategy game World of Warships, the follow-up to World of Tanks and World of Warplanes. Jimmy the Geek chats to Firaxis about what's new in Civilization Beyond Earth, and I catch up with Rocksteady Studios, who have returned to Gotham for Batman Arkham Knight. In the meantime, you can catch us on playerattack.com. We are on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter, and if you've got something you want to say, send us an email, mailbox@playerattack.com, or just hop on our forums. Till next week, I'm Jessica Citizen, and this is Player Attack.